Hey everybody, I'm Invisiblekatana, and I'm doing this video because, of course, recently we had a pretty big announcement with the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro. But today I saw a story that I personally feel is even bigger because Sony has decided to not let Bethesda use mods or give mod support to players on the PS4 for the Skyrim remaster that's coming out, as well as Fallout 4. And initially, and I'm sorry about my laptop being super loud because this camera likes to pick up all the most random sounds. But I wanted to read this actual statement from Bethesda about the mod stuff, and it says, "After months of discussion with Sony, we regret to say that while we have long been ready to offer mod support on PlayStation 4, Sony has informed us they will not approve user mods the way they should work, which is where users can do anything they want for either Fallout 4 or Skyrim Special Edition. Like you, we are disappointed by Sony's decision given the considerable time and effort we have put into this project." Things being stupid, and the amount of times our fans have waited for mod support to arrive. We consider this an important initiative, and we hope to find other ways user mods can be available for our PlayStation audience. However, until Sony will allow us to offer proper mod support for PS4, that content for Fallout 4 and Skyrim on PlayStation 4 will not be available. So, the fact that they put that specific line in there where Sony says they don't want it to, they basically don't want mods to allow people to cheat, is almost like they're saying they're trying to police how people play games in a really odd way to me, and it's the craziest thing. And first off, it's just a stupid idea, plain and simple. Just to throw that out there, that's a really dumb idea to tell people, to tell this company that has made two really big games. I know not everyone is crazy in love with Fallout 4. I know it had its issues, with some of the changes they made, but it's Fallout 4. It's still a really huge game. Skyrim is pretty much just, but everyone loved it. And they're really screwing themselves over. Sony is, by saying, nah, we aren't going to let you guys do that. Because there are people who I'm sure have PS4s that were going to buy the remaster. Or maybe people that never even had it. And it's like, you know what? It's going to come out. I assume it's not going to be $60. I don't really remember the pricing and everything for the remaster. But even if it was, there are people who never had the game who are probably like, you know what, it'll come out, it'll look even better on PS4, plus it's going to have mods and stuff. Sure, why not? I have a PS4, maybe, I don't have an Xbox One. Like myself personally, I don't. And it's just insane. I'm sure people might still buy it, but it would be a lot less people, I'm sure. And I can almost guarantee that there are a ton of people who have the original game that were still going to buy this remaster because it actually looks so much better, and they'd also have mods on console. And maybe there would be people who do gaming videos and stuff for PS4 and then live streams and all that. That would probably help them out a lot, and that's something that they were probably planning on ever since it was announced. Like, wow, I'll have mods on my PS4. It's a lot easier to record on PS4 than it is for PC. You don't have to set up nearly as many things to just get yourself going. And I could see that screwing these people over. And it's kind of a minor thing, but it's just insane to stop this company from allowing people to use mods because it's immoral or something like that. I don't know. It's really the way it was phrased is they don't want mods to allow people to do whatever they want. It's almost like Sony acts like they develop the games or something like that, and it's like, we don't want people cheating at our games or something. It's like you're the house, and these these are the games with the furniture and stuff, and it's just like, what the heck? How are you gonna police this, or why at all do you even care to police it? And it's just a crazy thing. And this is kind of the main point of this video, because initially I was going to do a video for the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro, and this I just feel is so much worse. Those two things, like I said, it was kind of in the middle. People were just sort of meh on it, and the PS4 Slim came out, it's the same as the PS4, it's smaller. The PS4 Pro came out, and it's really not as epic as we were kind of hoping for. It's basically, you have the Xbox One S, and then we have the Scorpio coming out next year, and then the PS4 Slim, and then the PS4 Pro. The PS4 Slim is basically the original Xbox One, it's just smaller, and then the PS4 Pro is basically a bigger version of the Xbox One S. It's the epic PS4 that we're supposed to get is just like the Xbox One S, like it doesn't do 4K gaming, it just does 4K video if you have that. But the reason that that's such a big deal is because, of course, Microsoft had already announced, even though that was kind of crazy the way they did it, but they announced already after the Xbox One S, hey, we have Scorpio coming out next year, which is kind of similar, with the PS4 thing. It's the next step, but it's not going to be totally different because it will play the same games and all that stuff. But it will have at least actual 4K gaming, and then we have the PS4 Pro, which is supposed to be like the really good new PS4, but it's almost like they didn't know what to expect, and why would they? Because it's two different companies. They don't know what Microsoft is doing, but the PS4 Pro is at the same level as the Xbox One S, which means Microsoft is coming out, and Sony's got nothing, and Nintendo even has something, and we still don't know exactly how things are going to go with the NX, but they both have something, and it seems like Sony is going to be the one who comes out with a new console last, or whatever it's going to be, because now they're going into this weird thing with games kind of being like phones, where it's minor updates and stuff like that, which I'm not super happy about. But we have to see how all that plays out with the Scorpio and exactly how things continue to grow, and see if Sony actually comes out with something else. But with that announcement, already not exactly taking hold of a ton of people, it's like, okay, people who don't have a PS4, they could get the PS4 Slim or the PS4 Pro if they really care about having like 4K, Netflix and stuff like that. But to have, this announcement where it's like, no mods for two really huge games that people really enjoy, that's just insane to me. And like I said, the way that they phrase it, where it's just like, it's almost like they're policing people and saying, we don't want mods here because then people can cheat. Like, it's honestly, that's how it feels. It's almost like they're trying to save something really crazy. It's like, I get that. It's almost like if this was a multiplayer game, it's kind of how they're doing it. Like, oh, we don't want people to cheat and stuff. As if it's a multiplayer game where it's like, oh, they can cheat and ruin other people's experiences. And it's like, I know they can't think that because it's Fallout 4 and Skyrim. They can't possibly think that. So then it's like, what experience could they possibly be ruining by having mods and, having fun in the game? Like, yeah, cheating, I guess, sucks. I mean, I don't know. Like, I can't even say cheating sucks when you're playing by yourself. You do whatever you want. Like, if I'm playing, GTA 5 and I want to put in mods to, have infinite health or infinite bullets, that's on me. Like, who are you? I mentioned Sony's like the house because, obviously they're the company and they make the console. But we have all the things that we use inside the house. Like, I'm sitting in the freaking chair, and, to tell me, like, I can't use this chair in a certain way is ridiculous. Like, I can only sit in the chair. I can't stand on the chair to reach something a little higher. Like, that's not what the chair is for. That's what a stepladder is for. It's just like, that's how I feel they're saying it. Like, we don't want people to use mods because it allows them to do whatever they want. Like, it's a video game, especially, and it's the craziest thing to have that specific quote for Skyrim and Fallout. Like, the only other game would be Grand Theft Auto, where it's like, we don't want mods because we don't want people to be able to do whatever they want in these games. When Bethesda is basically the company that creates games solely based on, whatever. Just do something. And they're saying, like, oh, we don't want people to do that, I guess, to the next level with mods and stuff. And it's just insane to me. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's something else going on behind the scenes where that's the terrible quote that they put out to Bethesda, and there's just something going on where it's like they found out maybe the PS4 can't run mods, which I just don't see that being a thing. But I don't know. Maybe there is something crazy going on behind the scenes that we don't know about yet, and that's why, they kind of said it the way that they did. But this is insane. This is like two really bad steps. The PS4 thing is just lackluster, or the PS4 Pro thing specifically is like, oh, that's just a little lackluster, and it's kind of disappointing because I do honestly prefer the PlayStation over the Xbox, and it's solely because they have like certain exclusives that I like more than Xbox exclusives. Plus, with Xbox now doing the games for Windows thing, you kind of don't really need to get an Xbox One, which is another reason I'm not going to get one from them, but that's a totally different story. But now when the Scorpio does come out, you know, what is Sony gonna have? Unless they're gonna do something else like the PS4 Pro Plus or so, you know, something like that. And you know, it's just crazy. Like that was already something that was kind of meh. Where it's like, all right, it could help people who don't have a PS4, you know, get the PS4 Slim, which I believe is $299, and then the PS4 Pro is $399, and I believe the Xbox One S is $399 as well. I could be wrong. That might be $299, but I really don't remember. But you know, coming off of that announcement where it was kind of like people were either just disappointed or flat out mad that it kind of sucked, this comes out and it's just like, that's a terrible decision. And that's something that they choose to do. And like I said, I don't know. I'd like to think something crazy is going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, because otherwise this is just a terrible decision. Like it just doesn't make sense. Plain and simple, it does not make any sense to say we don't want people to use mods basically because they can cheat. Like it's our games. We bought the games. We want to play them how we want to play them. And you know, it's one thing, like I said, if it's like a multiplayer thing, I would understand that a little bit. And you know, they obviously code things in certain ways where even if it was a multiplayer game, the mods wouldn't go into the multiplayer. But to say that and be like, you know, we don't want people to cheat, it's just insane to me. Like that doesn't even make sense. It's like it's as if they are trying to lose money by telling people not to play games a certain way. Like that's really what they're trying to do. Is like, don't have extra fun with the game. Like enjoy the actual game all you want, but don't have fun with extra stuff. Don't play even more. You know, don't do that at all. Like just leave that behind. Only play the base game, nothing extra, and you know, that's it. Like so I don't know what Sony's doing right now. I mean I spent most of this time talking about the mod thing because that actually upset me. The PS4 thing, like I said, that was just lackluster, and you know, people are still going to get it. Of course, the PS4 Pro, and definitely for people that don't have a PlayStation 4 already, they're certainly going to get the PS4 Slim. But you know, to already have that as an issue where it's like, oh, you know, you have this, and then the special announcement was basically, you know, this is our final stop for the PS4, and it's only as good as Xbox One S, and then they, you know, Microsoft already has something super crazy coming out next year. You know, who knows how much that'll cost? So that's the only thing that's been in my head. Like it's, you know, it's going to be like 4K gaming and you know the teraflops and all that. So we still have to see the pricing on that. Who knows if they'll pull a PS3 on us? But we'll have to see how that plays out. But that's one thing, and then the mod stuff is just that's kind of insane. And specifically that quote, I don't know. Like I said, I hope something's going on behind the scenes. I would accept that as an answer. But it's insane to me. It's crazy that their idea or their reasoning for not using mods is because, you know, and not the exact words, it allows people to cheat. It allows people to do whatever they want. And that's just insane to me. And honestly, who gives a crap? You know, you're going through the game, you play it how you want. Plus, mods, as much as people use mods, a lot of times people use mods more for comedy than they do. At least I feel to, you know, to really cheat the game. It's just like, it's not like, oh, I want to do this and, you know, have infinite ammo and stuff like that. Some people certainly do that, but for the most part, it just makes the game more fun. You know, put it on a harder difficulty and do that, and it's still a harder game. You might have infinite ammo, but you know, you probably use infinite health too if you do that. But either way, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's our games, and for them to be policing it in this sort of way is really weird. And it's like they're just trying to not get money at this point, because even though those are only two games, if they set, you know, they set this sort of precedent for two huge games, not like these are two little indie games or anything like that, or two new games where it's like we don't really know how they're, you know, how it's going to play out. These are two really, really huge games that have insane mod support, you know, on PC as well as Xbox now. And it's like, they're just like, money, who gives a crap? We don't need that, because they're going to screw that up. Like, they're going to lose money for sure because they don't have mods on there. Like, somehow, it might be minute at this point, but they're going to lose money because of that. And if they start now with games this huge that have such huge support already through the modding community on other consoles or systems, I feel like it's inevitable that they continue to do that. Even if it's not Bethesda, if it's some other company where it's like, oh, go ahead and do this, we allow mods and stuff for this game or for that game. Sony's going to be like, well, we don't, because we don't want you to play it and do whatever you want in the game. As if it, like, I don't know, it's almost like they have some sort of weird level of respect. Like, we can't let you do that to our games because we lose respect, in the world or something crazy. So I really don't know what the deal is, but they already set the precedent here with two really huge games that already have ridiculous mod support. And if they're going to do it for these two types of games that are almost like the epitome of games that could use mods, if they're already going to do it for these two types of games, then it's basically a guarantee that they won't let anyone else do it. It doesn't matter what the game is. They aren't going to allow it because they don't want people to do whatever they want. So, I don't know. It was really crappy news to read that. I do have Fallout 4 on PS4. I probably should have mentioned that. So, even if I didn't, because I have Skyrim on Steam, so I can get mods on there and stuff. But it's just, in general, even if it wasn't for the mod stuff, in general, that's just a terrible idea, and it just doesn't make any sense why they would have such an odd ideal of why they should, why they won't allow mods. And that's why I feel like there's got to be something like that. Either it's something behind the scenes, or that's just one of the dumbest things they've ever done, because it doesn't make sense. It's so confusing to me how they can make that sort of decision to not have mods, because people will cheat in a game. Like, who gives a crap? But I had to do the video, I had to do this one, because it just kind of blew my mind. It was just like, I can't believe that, like, we've been waiting all this time, because I was super excited. I was so happy, when Xbox got mods. I'm like, alright, they got it, we're gonna get it. It was supposed to be, a couple of months later, around this time, actually, a little bit before now, I believe, we should have had mods for PS4. And it was just like, man, this is going to be fun. I can't wait to do that. It's going to be really exciting, and just, play around in the game and, kind of experience the game in, brand new ways and do really silly stuff. And now I'll never have that opportunity. I don't buy games twice. I don't have, that type of money where I can buy a game on, like, PC and buy it, on PS4 or anything like that. And I don't have an Xbox One, which is why, I bought it for PS4. So, and plus my PC wasn't, like, up to snuff, and it's like, I just wanted on PS4, make it simple, and do, like, my little silly live streams and stuff. And it's like, eventually I'll be able to do live streams, and I'll have mods, and that'll be really fun to do, and it'll make me play the game way more. And if I'm on the game more, I'll be on the PlayStation more. And then, it's just a visual thing. If you're on the console more, you are more likely to do other things on that console. Like, maybe I'll switch up and play, an online game, which you have to pay for online. It's one of those little things where it's like, the more you use the console, the more you use it in a way that actually helps Sony make more money. And with them blocking out these two games, they're going to be losing money. Like I said, it'll probably be minute in the grand scheme, but ultimately we kind of just have to speak up on this. And because I saw that this came out basically today, like, it was about an hour ago for me, so it'll be hours, ago for you guys by the time this video uploads. But I kind of expect a bit of a storm coming for Sony. I mean, it's just crazy to me. It's just crazy. So that's it. I just had to talk about that. I didn't spend nearly as much time as I planned on the PS4 Pro thing, but it really, this had to be more about the mod stuff, because that's just insane to me. But I would love to know your thoughts on this whole crazy mod situation, and especially that quote about they don't want mods because it allows people to do whatever they want within the games. I would love to know how you guys feel about that specific quote. And I do want to know what you guys think about the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro, even though I didn't spend nearly as much time talking about it. But once this came out, it was like, alright, now it's just to get everything together. They're just flat out screwing up a little bit. And, I just had to spend more time on the modding thing, because that's such a big element. And like I said, it kind of, if they're going to do it for these, they're definitely going to do it for new IPs or lesser known IPs or IPs that don't make nearly as much money, maybe as Fallout 4 and Skyrim, like from companies smaller than Bethesda. They are going to care. They don't care now. They certainly are going to care later. But maybe we can just talk about it, and I know a lot of people will, so maybe they'll realize, you know, we want this stuff, and who cares about cheating in a game? And that's what it kind of makes me mad, just thinking about that. Like, it's not even a multiplayer game, and these games are built on decision and choice and doing what you want to do in the game, being a hero or being a villain, saving people then killing them right after. Silly, just crazy stuff like that. And their whole thing is, don't do whatever you want, don't cheat. It's like, really? That's where it's at. But I want to know what you guys think about this, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. What you think about the quote, the idea of the mods not being on there in general. If you have Fallout 4 only for PS4 like I do, you don't have, you know, multiple copy money. Would love to know how you guys are feeling about that right now. And like I said, I want to know what you guys think about the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro as well, and how Sony's doing right now. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thank you guys for watching.